Hello guys, welcome to my world of programming. My name is Tumitladi, and yes, let's see, according to our agenda, we are done with part 1 of services as part of MVVM on .NET MAUI app. So please go and watch that video because I'm going to do continuation from that. So this time we're going to do the same thing, but looking at how services are constructed in both ASP.NET Core MVC and Web API. So this is going to be part 2 of it. So again, please go and take a look at this YouTube channel and in all the videos that right now I am recording, they are uploaded on Licensing Tips YouTube channel. They are short, simple, straight to the point, and this will trigger you to want to know how I build this system. If that's the case, 25 Rand per session. That session is an hour, any day from Monday to Friday. Right, sounds good? So part 2, let's go. Now, I have both the API and MVC running, right? Both of them are running, and then we're going to talk about that. So let me just do this. There we go. So this is MVC, and then this is Web API, right? So let's start with MVC services, and we're gonna, like I said, pick up from part 1. Please go and watch part 1. We're gonna talk about feedbacks. So feedbacks, again, alive, not everything being organized in a proper manner. General, we're gonna go to a folder called feedbacks. In there, we're gonna have iFeedbacks service. That looks familiar, right? Remember that? Yes. Good. So this one again, public interface iFeedbacks service, and these are all the methods, right? So they're all asynchronous because they're talking to a database directly, right? So there's a get all async, and then there's an info async, there's an edit async, and there's a delete async. This is a full CRUD. Do you understand? You know who performs full CRUD? Yes. And then I have the implementation of that interface, right? So this guy, it will implement an interface and all the methods. So then I have a global variables. I did make a video that talk about the best practice of a database, so please go and watch that video. It will be very interesting. I also did make a video about automapper. That's why you see this guy here. So this is the first one where we are getting all feedbacks, and this is where we are getting one specific feedback, and this is where we're editing one specific feedback, and this is where we're deleting that feedback, right? So now where do you register these guys? If you go to installers, right, we also in detail we went after what are installers. Please go and watch those videos. But if you go to DB installer and we scroll all the way down, we'll see feedbacks. There we go. So this one is scoped. It's different than the one of .NET MAUI mobile application. This one is a scoped one, right? So services.add scoped iFeedback service and then feedback service, right? That's why you register them. Good. Now let me show you of the Web API, because that one is different. So still services, they're part of MVVM pattern. They're called MVVMs. So this one, it's a versioning type of services, and it's very important. So let's go for version 1, general, feedbacks. There we go. But you see the naming convention when it comes to Web API is different. It's not the same as MVC. Please take note of that. Okay, we have a get all feedbacks for V1, and we have a post one feedback for V1, and this will be the implementation. Still talking to a database using IMapper, and only 2 methods that I am implementing out of that interface, right? And then where do we register these guys? Still at the installers. We're gonna go to DB installer, and here we're gonna go to feedbacks. There we go. Add scoped. You see how similar they are? It's just a different classes, because if you're gonna have a V2, you also have to make provision of a V2, but we don't have a V2. Good. Then going back to MVC. Now who makes use of this guy is the controller. So let's quickly go to the controller. And speaking of the controller, let me show you where the controller is. Let's go to tasks. Let's go to feedbacks. As soon as I click this guy, it now launches a feedbacks controller. Instantly, it's calling all get all async. And one of them we just added from the previous video, which is part 1, is this one, test by Dumi. And this is a sample feedback. The reason why it did not show on the mobile application, like I said, sorry, I have to approve it. I have to say, can we show that publicly, and then who the user is. So this is the guy, right? So again, let's go quickly to the controller, general, feedback controller. So this one, you see, we are just calling that I feedback service, and then we are using the constructor to inject it using the constructor injection. And then on the index, you see this says get all. On the info, this will say info async. And then on the edit, this says first get info async, and then get edit async. And last on delete, this is delete, right? So the way it happens is this. If I click here, I'm calling info to get this more information on this specific feedback, and this is it, info. So the service helps us to go to a database and talk to a database, but it needs to know who's making the request to a database. So this is the guy. If I click edit, I still have that info, but if I make this guy to be public and hit save, that will take care of it, right? It will show me that, okay, you are asking for this to be changed. Yes, it did change, right? For this guy, if we go to get all and just try it, because I am already authorized, hit execute, you see, here it is. We are getting all of them, including this guy. So for the API, we still need the controller, and then for V1, general, and then feedbacks, right? So this one's a bit different, but still talks to, still asking I feedbacks service V1, and then we are using a constructor to inject it. And then this is the first guy, get all, but this one is approved. You're gonna have to get all approved feedbacks because there's a condition, right? That's what we just saw here, getting all of them. And then this one will be the post, right? So I can also post using the web API. Close this guy. I can also post and say try out. It will allow me to do so. In fact, let's do that. To me, Clady, this is my world of programming. Rating, let's give it 2. Date is okay today, but why is it 3 o'clock? Let's make it 2 o'clock in the morning. User will be to me, and then hit execute. There we go. So let's go and get all and see, re-execute. It won't show because it's not public, but if I come back here and hit refresh, and there we go. Do me Clady, this is my world of programming, and it's not approved. But if I go back to it and then click edit, save. So this is the importance of a service. It's independent component that makes a separation of concern and then not clothing, the application not to breathe. Do you understand? Because sometimes it doesn't breathe. And there we go. This guy is just being added. So now you understand. Now finally, if I want to delete these two guys, hit delete and confirm. They are done. That one is gone, and this one is gone, because the service will take care of the actual delete. The view model, it's only asking for the request to delete, but the service will take care of the actual deletion. The view model is asking the request to get all. The service will do the actual getting all. The view model or the controller will ask the service to get one specific feedback. Then it is the job of a service to go and look for that specific feedback. This is the power of it, right? I can show you all of this, how I build this. You see, I'm just flying around, but I can show you and teach you this. That will be 25 Rand per session. That session is an hour-long session using Microsoft Teams on a weekly basis, right? On a weekdays rather, any day from Monday to Friday. If you know anyone who might be interested on how I build lessons and tips, please send them my way. Until next time.